Shevuot Daf Vav Amud Aleph, 6 lines down. The last thing we mentioned in Daf He was that Rabbi Akiva had the 4 levels. Sorry, quickly, today's Daf sponsored by Mr. Raymond Day in honor of his granddaughter Vivian Joy. The last thing we mentioned with Rabbi Akiva was that he had these 4 levels of tzaraat, and each one connected to the other in some way, shape, or form, and we discussed whether or not that was even possible. So the Gemara asks, where did Rabbi Akiva know this concept that they combine in order? Even matter that I don't bring proof in the Van Breta, which means we're not going to bring a proof, but let's see what it is. Rabbi Yosef. Shari Shuvana Shari Akiva, Rabbi Akiva. He asked his father, Rabbi Akiva, why do we have to use the words that the Siddharth is 2 equals 4? And my Lord, Rabbi Akiva says, okay, if it's not it, then what should it say? Right, he's using the classic psychological line of if someone's asking you a question, why did you do this? You answer back to see where they're holding. You say, what do you think it should have said? Beautiful. So Rabbi Yeshua his son said, just say from the shade of white, which is from the egg level up until and up, is considered tameh, which means there's only 4. And if you would have said from number 4 and up, it should have been good enough. My Lord Akiva said, have it said that, you would think they would all combine with each other. My Lord said it back to him. Okay, so say anything from the egg and up is tameh, they could combine. My Lord, the reason why they said separately by the levels and the names and everything is to teach you. If a Kohen is not expert in recognizing each shade and each item separately, he should not be doing examinations. That's why we mention each one. Now, Rabbi Yeshua, from this price, how we see the fact that Rabbi Yeshua did not say that it only from the lime level and up. He could have said from the lime level and up, but the fact that he did not say it, must be hold that Rabbi Yeshua holds like Rabbi Akiva, that all of them, the other 3, can combine with the set. That's a beautiful proof. I says no, but the other maybe he thinks no. Maybe he says that all 3 plus they all equal to each other, no problems. Maybe he meant that they each one with his todah, level 1, level 3, level 2, level 4 combined, but not all mixed together. Not a proof. The Gemara says, what's the concept of Rabbi Akiva? How can you prove it? Like, how would you give an analogy? Like, 4 cups of milk. 1 cup, 2 drops of blood fell in, a tiny tinge of red. Next cup had 4. Next cup had 8. And the last cup, either 12 or 16 drops fell in. They're all technically white. But let's just say each one has more intense whiteness than the next, right? Depending on how much blood drops are inside. That's what Rabbi Akiva is looking like. The Gemara said 1 second, not a proof. When do you want to bring the proof according to Rabbi Akiva over here regarding the mixed colors? But who says he would agree in the concept when right, each one had blood in it, which means they're all not pure white. But who should Rabbi Akiva would agree into what we mentioned before, that each shade of white is the same. It is separate. The Gemara says, maybe the fact that he was separated by cups with blood spots could technically then even pure white. For sure he was separated. Who says he even holds to the mixed spots? Different types of reddish tzaraat. It's like wine diluted with water, right? And therefore, the red is not strong at all. And except for the baheret one is extremely purely white, even if it has red. And the lime one is less white. They need that. Rabbi Akiva has 4 shades of white, intense whites. He should have said the whiteness of the wool is dimmer, not the other way of baheret. And therefore it's not a proof. And therefore we see from here that he uses the 4 not in the level of intensity of white, but rather in order of the Mishnah. Therefore, they can combine. The word says Amr, they say, yes, it's true. Really, the lime is dimmer, but etc. Voice not by the priest. Rabbi says, Lo Shama Rabbi Akiva Shasideh Hemena. It's not true that Rabbi Akiva holds that the lime is less white. Ela Shasimra de Hemena, really, what he meant to say is that the whiteness of the wool is dimmer. Okay, Uminan Behet Azahi, how do we know the concept that the Behet is considered the purest white? My Behet by Makra, the Behet Levanahi, if it's a white Behet, which means he Levana Levana, only that one is pure white and the other ones are white. Okay, Ramadan. Baheret amuka. The baheret, when it's on the person, it's deep into the skin. V'chein, when the Pasuk says, umareh amok min it's deeper in the skin. What does that mean? Kimareh hamah amuka, it's like the sun, when you look at it, there's shade around it, which is farther, it looks farther. That's the concept. The shade around the spot looks deep, sunken into the skin. Se'et, what is se'et? En se'et el gavoa, it's a raised spot. V'chein omer, al kol he'arim haramim ba'achol v'ot ha'en se'ot. Sapahat was Sapahat and Sapahat el Tefillah. It's like a minor subdivision. So now if you see that Sa'at has this subdivision, Tefillah I know that Beherit has a subdivision also. Marabizera. Imran Levana Basat. Says Levana white by Sa'at. Then Levana Beherit also means Beherit. Ma Levana Simra Beherit Tefillah. Levana Beherit Yesh. It's like Sa'at has a subdivision. So the two must be Beherit also has one. But in Torah it says, Hetila Kutub Zahar ben Se'ed la Beheret. The Pasuk specifically put the words Zabahad between Se'ed and Beheret. The Malachar teach you, Keshem Shetevilah Se'ed, just like there's a subdivision to Se'ed, also a subdivision to Beheret, another proof. Okay, Se'ed, Semen Labam, we say that Se'ed like wall white. Masim Labam, does it mean? Marabi Bebi, Marabi Ase, Semen Naki Ben Yomo, Shemachashim Limila. It's like Liminat. It's so pure white, it's like you took it off a newborn lamb the day of. And not only that, it was even the wool was covered with protection to make sure that it's going to be used for a pure white garment. What's the a mashal, an analogy for Hamim's order of the spots? You have two kings and two governors. Each king has his own governor. The king of governor A, the king A of governor A is more important than the king of governor B. And the governor of king A is more important than the governor of king B. The Gemara says, that's the same thing as Rabbi Akiva. That you have 1 and 3 and 2 and 4. Right? It says, no, really, the king of governor A is more important than his own governor. And also the king of governor B is also more important than governor B. Another set of examples to teach you the levels is like a king with an al-kafta, a rufila, and a resh galuta. These are type of officers. Again, that type of introduction sounds like the same thing as Rabbi Akiva. Okay, fine. A king, a rufila, al-kafta, and resh galuta. Switch around the order. They go in pairs. Explanation. It's like King Shapur and Caesar. Caesar, obviously the Roman, and King Shapur, the Persian king, each one having an assistant or a viceroy. Okay, who's more important, Shapur or Caesar? He says, what do you live in a forest? You don't know who's more important? Go see who has the most power in the world. It's referring to the wicked Rome because the authority is spread throughout the world. Right? That this is a not just referring to Rome itself, but the religion that comes from Rome. It's a big chunk of the world. Is referring to like a new white wool garment and a worn out garment. And a new white linen garment and a worn out linen garment, that would be the two pairs. Okay. Next part of Mishnah said that regarding of Tumah. If the guy forgot initially, he knew in the beginning, then he forgot, and then he realized at the end, how does it already gets the korban, the variable korban? So how do you know the pasuk only talking about a case where the guy was either went to the Bet Hamikdash tameh or he touched something kadosh that was when he was tameh? B'dinu, the pasuk told you already that you get punished for if you're on purpose for touching tuma while tameh. The hayab korban on you also have a korban hayav if he did it by mistake. Just like you get punished for doing it on purpose, it is already warned and punished for that in Bet Hamikdash. Just like when the Torah says you have to bring a korban to Tuma, lo hayav ela al tumat mintash only hayav regarding touching the Tuman in the Bet while Tameh in the Bet HaMikdash. One second. Who says that's Tumatah? Maybe it's a case where a guy touched ate Teruma when he was Tameh. Shehzir Amanash. Pasuk also warned and said you're punished. It says, La, Ashkechan Avon Mitada Hayav al Kabam. We don't find anywhere in the Torah that you be chayav mitah for something on purpose, but only chayav korban by mistake. Meaning, a korban hatat only applies when, like, the most will be like chayav karet, like we see elsewhere, which makes sense by Bet HaMikdash. However, if someone does terumah on purpose, he gets killed. So why would you say the pasuk so about a case of korban by a case where if you did it on purpose, you be chayav mitah? Or it says, "Ema hani mele korban kavua." Okay, maybe they said that applies regarding a regular standard korban hatat because it's a fixed price to bring the korban hatat no matter what. Aval, but in the case olevio red, the case of a korban like it depends on the price. Let's see, maybe you should bring it even if it's not karet. Just like the case of a case where the guy the other two sins mentioned around this Avera on the Pasuk, if a guy denies knowing testimony, then he found out he's lying, or he swore falsely, maybe all three would apply. The Gemara says, "Amar Krabah," only in that Pasuk, the Pasuk says only with that, through the word, we exclude the Turma in that case through the word bah, through it only and not anything else. Okay, maybe the word bah is excluding the mitash. And you can't bring a korban oleveret until you bring a korban hatat also. Where it says, well, actually, we'll stop here.